I've pretty much become a Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh hater recently. Not just because he's been implicated in again, I should point out, in a bizarre and ridiculous spying scandal. My problem is not so much, although there is a problem, and you should have a problem too, with the spying scandal at Michigan. That's not the issue that gets to me. It's the way he's reacted. It's this self-serving, narcissistic, I'm holier than thou, ridiculously righteous, self-centered, whiny, desperate-sounding public fool. That's what I think. He's acted like he's Nelson Mandela. He's acted like he's a political prisoner. He's acted like he's a prisoner at all. He's preached about due process, which has no relevance here whatsoever. He's preaching about due process and whining as if he's wrongly imprisoned. His employer, one of the best public universities in the country, can't seem to rein him in, or he just doesn't listen, doesn't care, because as long as you're winning, you do whatever you want. But it's got to be embarrassing for the school. He's a really good coach with a very good team, but he's an insufferable jackass. I want you to meet the opposite of Jim Harbaugh. In a completely different world, in a comical story that just happened to find its way to the state of Texas. The coach, in this case, probably makes, I'm going to guess, he makes in a year what Jim Harbaugh might make in one single suspended game. And it may not even be that. He's also been suspended himself. Like Jim Harbaugh, he's now suspended sort of in a weird way. He can coach during the week, but he can't he can't be on the sidelines for the game or games. That's what Jim Harbaugh's facing, although he's going to court tomorrow to argue something, I don't know what, where he's not losing money, he's getting paid, he's just not allowed on the sidelines because the Big Ten found Harbaugh, well, it's his shop. And so there's a rule that says, if something happens, it's on the coach, and the spying is on the coach. So he's suspended 3 games, although he's going to show up and try to get a restraining order, blah, blah. This other coach, is suspended for the games as well. He's not accused of illegal recruiting. By the way, Jim Harbaugh, just so people know, he's already served 1 3-game suspension this year already. Okay, you need to know this happens with him fairly often. There's always some drama, some problem going on with Jim Harbaugh. For as much as he wins, just so you know, there's always something going wrong. So this other coach, of course, it's not spying, it's not illegal recruiting, it's not anything really football related whatsoever. What terrible thing has Coach Tony Annese, I think is how, Annese. Tony is the head coach of Division II national champion Ferris State. Ferris State is in the state of Michigan. Ferris State won the national championship for whatever reason, I have no idea, in beautiful McKinney, Texas. And it matters. So I don't know why the Division II championships in McKinney, I don't know. And that's a problem now. It's a big problem. So maybe some of you know the answer why Division II schools would be playing. A school from Michigan would be playing a school from Colorado in McKinney, but they did. McKinney's outside of Dallas. Oh, it's beautiful. So Ferris State beat the Colorado College of Mines 41-14 for their second national championship. That's a lot more championships than Jim Harbaugh has, by the way. Tony Annese is now suspended just like Jim Harbaugh. He cannot be on the sidelines during games. He didn't spy on games. His crime. His team's crime, which of course makes it his crime. His team lit up cigars after winning the national championship. They lit up cigars. And I guess had they lit up cigars anywhere other than beautiful McKinney, Texas, in a McKinney Independent School District stadium, he'd be coaching and everything would be fine. But apparently in McKinney, you'd be better off doing heroin than smoking a cigar after a championship because the school was also hit with a $2,500 fine. I'm not saying you love the smell of cigar smoke. I get it. I understand that. But, wow, it gets worse for smoking. Not like smoking during the game. I'm talking about smoking at all. They won. They didn't bust out the beer bongs. They busted out the cigars. And he's now suspended. Here's the story. Now, I just want to compare and contrast the two. Here we have Jim Harbaugh, again, getting in trouble in some slimy scandal. And he acts like he is, like I said, he acts like he's a political prisoner. Tony here, he's going to roll with it. Stories reported today, defending champion Ferris State will play a Division II football playoff game Saturday without its coach because he's been suspended for players lighting cigars in the locker room after winning a national championship last year. Last year. That's how serious they are in McKinney about cigar smoke. It's McKinney. Are you kidding? So the Bulldogs will travel 60 miles in Michigan to play in-state rival Grand Valley State. Okay. Ferris State had to pay a $2,500 fine for cleaning and repair expenses. The McKinney, Texas School District, where the 2022 championship game was played, has a strict no tobacco policy. The Bulldogs beat Colorado the Mines 41-14 for their second consecutive Division II championship. So that's the crime. All right. So Jim Harbaugh has reacted by crying and moaning and preaching and going, I'm the next Nelson Mandela and I'm going to show up in court and due process and blah, blah, blah. The head coach of Ferris State had this to say. Self-pity is the greatest form of self-destruction, so I just got to suck it up and be a big boy and deal with this. Technically speaking, I can be at the game. I just have to buy my own ticket. So I don't think that's a very good idea because I don't know if he has any money. So he's now suspended like Harbaugh. He can't be on the sideline, and it's because his team lit up cigars after they won. I don't know how many cigars. I don't know. Does it matter? Apparently one is enough to set McKinney off. Could they not just, this is crazy, could they not just apologize? Say, okay, look, McKinney School District, sorry about that. Here's, I don't know, like some air freshener and let's move on. It's not like they set the school on fire. This is amazing. This guy's suspended. His school didn't, well, I guess they did. I mean, and then they got to pay McKinney. Jim Harbaugh acts like he's on the way to federal prison for something he did. This guy is suspended because his team lit up 3 cigars, and it happened to be inside of a stadium of the McKinney School District. And he's out. He's not going because he doesn't want to buy a ticket, and now has to fork over $2,500 in a fine.